Are you an OPOAK, an overbearing parent of an adult kid? Because it's a thing. We didn't make it up.
Promise it's a real thing. Oh, this can be so difficult. We love our kids so much. I have 3 kids and I love them all so much. Now, they're not adults yet, but I can see myself, because I love them so much, that when they become an adult, I'm still going to be feeling like I need to help them or give them advice or wisdom. And that's great if they ask for it. But if they don't, I can't just impose my parenting on them because now they're an adult, and it just doesn't work that way. The specs of the relationship needs to change at that point.
I've heard it framed in a lot of different ways. The easiest way that you can separate it out is you go from an active parent role where you get to do discipline and change behaviors to a consultant. They now can come to you and consult with you about how to handle situations, and you get to be there for that. It's not exactly like a friendship, but it shifts closer to that than it is whenever they're little.
Yeah.
And you get to have that relationship with them, and it grows and changes.
You have a responsibility when you have a kid, and that is to bring them up to the point where they can be an adult. God entrusted you with that little person for a time, and then they go off into the world, and it's on them to do. It's not your victories and it's not your defeats. And sometimes when we try to hold on to that, it does harm. It keeps them from getting victories, and so they go into life not knowing if they can do it. It causes codependency, and so they won't be able to do anything without you. But that sounds really good. I want them to need me that bad. No, you don't. You want them to know that they can do things, that they can achieve, that they can accomplish, that they can go out and be a grown-up.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we're there to be able to give them wisdom, not tell them what to do or fight their battles for them. You shouldn't even do that when your kids are young. You should be teaching them how to fight their own battles, but especially if they're an adult, you can't be doing that. You're hindering their growth and their progress in life. They have to work through the stages of human development as well, and so you're really gonna put a damper in their progress if you try to be too overbearing. And listen, I've had people come in to my office before, young married couples, and it's amazing because they have struggles because one of the spouse's parents are just really unkind to their son or daughter's spouse, and that's just completely inappropriate. And these are things where it's just like, well, I don't like that person, so as a parent, you should be looking to facilitate the happiness and the success of your child. You really need to think about what you're doing when you're giving them advice, or maybe intrusive advice when you're an adult.
It'll be really hard, but some of this is only perspective. And so from your perspective, they're allowed to make mistakes. And sometimes they will be mistakes that they'll need your help fixing. And sometimes it'll turn out really great because they're doing it differently, and that's okay.
And when they pay for those mistakes, it drives home the lesson and it helps them to learn it. It's not a bad thing. Now, if you go to somebody that you love, who loves you a lot, and you just like wrap your arms around them and you hold them really tight, and then just keep going for a long time, days, weeks, months, years, they're going to become desperate to get as far away from you as possible. You'll probably get sweaty and nasty and gross and dirty, all that junk, because, well, we do that emotionally. And parents, we don't always know it. There's some value in asking, am I being overly protective? Am I being overly engaged? Now, if your kid's good and like beat down, they'll probably say no to not offend you, but really look for the answer, because eventually relationships under that much stress do break, and there does come a point when their distance becomes a problem.
Yeah, so if this is something you're dealing with, either as the child or as the parent, you need to talk about it. Well, Destiny does counseling. Kevin does counseling. I do too. We have a bunch of other counselors we work with. Come see us.